Have you ever chosen a niche that made sense at first and then realized through working with clients that a new direction was giving you far more joy? Well, the thought of changing filled you with a twinge of dread. The moment that you realize that the enormity of what needs to change can feel paralyzing. Everything you have done up to this point has been built around that original niche. Your website and your content and the people you have been attracting all reflect the direction that you chose at the beginning of your business. And now those leads coming in have you thinking, I don't want to keep working with these kinds of clients anymore. Hi, I'm Susan Friesen, your small business brand positioning strategist, and welcome to Stand Out and Thrive. Today, I want to talk about what happens when the niche that you chose at the beginning of your business no longer reflects the work that gives you the most joy, and why changing direction does not mean your past efforts were wasted. That is exactly what happened to a solo business owner that I spoke with recently. She is a coach and within a very specific niche. When she first started her business, another coach helped her choose a particular direction within that field. And it made perfect logical sense at the time. So she got to work and updated her website around that niche. She brought in a virtual assistant to help with social media and began marketing herself based on that positioning. And the marketing worked. Over time, as she worked with more clients, she started to notice that the conversations were naturally going much deeper than the reason why they had originally hired her. The surface level support may have been what brought them in, but it was the deeper work that she found far more meaningful and rewarding. That was the work that gave her joy and purpose. But at the same time, many people were still coming to her looking for only that surface level help. The more those inquiries continued, the clearer it became that her marketing was attracting people who wanted something different from the work that she most wanted to do. And I see this happen more often than you might think. When you first choose a niche, you are usually making the best decision that you can with the information that you have at the time. It may come from advice that you trust, a clear market opportunity, or direction that fits your experience and qualifications. So you build your business around it. And then the fun part starts. Clients begin signing up. And then something happens. Through working with them, you start learning things you could never have discovered from a business plan or a course or an ideal client exercise. You begin to see which conversations energize you, or, as I like to say, make your heart sing. And you notice that your ability goes far beyond the service somebody originally came looking for. You start to discover which problems you feel most drawn to solving. You also begin to see the difference between work you can do well and work you want to spend the next 10 years doing. And that kind of clarity often comes from experience. I know I didn't start out positioning myself as a small business brand positioning strategist. It took several years for me to realize that this was the work I truly loved and wanted to build my business around. So no, you cannot always think your way into perfect positioning before you begin. For this business owner, the problem became harder to ignore once the wrong fit inquiries kept coming in. Her website was still speaking to the old direction, and her social media was reinforcing that same message. The more marketing she did, the more she attracted work she no longer wanted. Eventually, she told her virtual assistant to just stop. And then she stopped marketing altogether. So for about 5 months, she did nothing. She needed a break from the pressure of trying to promote a business that no longer felt right. She was burnt out, frustrated, and uncertain about what to do next. And honestly, I understand why. When your positioning no longer matches the direction that you want to take, marketing becomes difficult in a way that has nothing to do with your ability to write a post or show up on camera. You do not know what to say because you are no longer certain what you want your marketing to attract. Updating a headline or changing a few sentences on your website will not fix the deeper issue. Continuing to post only keeps reinforcing a direction that you are trying to leave behind. Then the idea of changing everything starts to feel enormous. Do you change your niche, rewrite your website, create new offers, start with everything all over again? That is when many capable business owners become frozen. They know the old direction is no longer right, but they do not yet have enough clarity around the new direction to move forward confidently. During our conversation, this business owner spoke about the past 3 years as though she had wasted a great deal of time, money, and energy on the wrong niche. And I told her something I think many business owners need to hear. Those 3 years were not wasted, not at all. In fact, they were very valuable to the sustainable business that she wants to enjoy. She thanked me for acknowledging that because she had been looking at those years through the lens of what has not worked. But those years gave her valuable information. They helped her understand the people that she served at a much deeper level. They showed her the difference between the reason someone initially seeks help and the real issue lying underneath it. They revealed the type of work that she found most meaningful. They helped her get clearer about her clients that she most wanted to work with and the kind of business she wanted to build. That is not failure in my books. That is valuable market research. And it is the kind of research you can only get by working with actual people and paying attention to what those experiences are teaching you. There is a tendency in business to treat every change in direction as if it's proof that something has gone wrong. No, I don't see it that way. Choosing a niche that later needs to change does not mean it was the wrong decision. It may have been the decision that gave you the experience and insight you needed to make a better one. So no, your first niche does not have to be your forever niche. Your original positioning was created from what you knew then. Your next positioning decision can be created from what you know now. The real question is whether you are willing to listen to what your experience has been telling you. Are you attracting clients who want the work that you most enjoy doing? Does your current message reflect the real value you now understand that you provide? Or are you continuing to promote an old version of your business because changing it feels way too complicated and overwhelming? This is where positioning becomes deeply personal. It is not only about finding a profitable niche or choosing language that sounds good on your website. You're making a decision about where you want to place your name, your reputation, and your energy. You are deciding which clients you want to invite into your business and where you want to place your time, energy, and expertise. Now, that does not mean passion should replace sound business thinking. There still needs to be a real market. There still needs to be a problem people are willing to pay to solve. Your skills, experience, and credibility need to support the direction that you are taking. But joy matters too. You are building a service-based business around work you will likely spend a great deal of your life doing. You should care about the people that you are helping and feel a sense of purpose in the problems that you are helping solve. You should also be able to see yourself continuing in that direction without secretly resenting the business that you created. The Position Strong method begins with this kind of foundational clarity because everything else depends on it. You need to understand the work that you want to build around. You need to know which clients are most likely to value that work. And you need to be clear about the real problem that you help solve. Then your message, your website, your content, and your marketing can support that direction. Without that clarity, changing your social media strategy will not solve the problem. Hiring another virtual assistant will not solve it either. Posting more often will only help you attract more people based on the position that you already have. This is also why you should not rush into changing every visible part of your brand the moment that you feel dissatisfied. Before rewriting your website or announcing a new direction, take the time to understand what your experience has been revealing. Think about the clients that you have enjoyed working with the most. Pay attention to the conversations where you felt fully engaged. Look at the outcomes that made you feel proud of the work that you did. Notice when clients came to you asking for one thing but received something much more valuable because of the deeper ability that you brought to the situation. That information can help you uncover a stronger position. It can also help you see that you may not be starting all over. You may be refining your business around the best parts of what you have already built. The knowledge and the experience all stay. The relationships and lessons stay. Even some of your past content may still be quite relevant once you understand how it fits within the new direction. What changes is the stake that you are putting in the ground. You become more intentional about the work that you want to attract and the clients you most want to serve. Once that becomes clear, the paralysis begins to fade. You can see what needs to change first. You know which parts of your message no longer fit, and you have a better sense of what needs to communicate on your website. You can create content with a purpose because you know who you are speaking to and what you want them to understand. The path forward stops looking like one enormous rebrand and starts looking like a series of informed decisions. So, should you beat yourself up because your first niche turned out to not be your forever niche? Absolutely not. You made the best decision you could with the information that you had. Now you have more information. Use it. Let your experience help you choose a position that reflects the work that you want to do, the people you want to serve, and the value you now know you can provide. Nothing you have done to this point needs to be labeled as a failure. It may be the very experience that helped you become clearer about where your business is meant to go next. If you are questioning whether your current brand positioning still fits the business that you want to build, download my free brand clarity and gap audit at brandclarityaudit.com. It will help you identify where your positioning, message, and marketing may no longer be working so that you can see what needs your attention first. Until next time, I'm Susan Friesen, your small business brand positioning strategist, inviting you to stay clear, stay focused, and stand out.